Today we're here in Plummer, Idaho. Plummer, Idaho is south of Coeur d'Alene, about 35 miles. It is a beautiful little town here. I think very affordable, offers just some really neat geographic area here. Look at the topography around here. You're sitting here in these rolling hills, lots of pine trees. Right now I'm right here at the head of the Trail of the Coeur d'Alenes. We're going to talk a little bit about that. In this video we're going to talk a little bit about the Plummer area and just take a look at a few properties here and see if there's something in this area that might interest you, or at least maybe ask a few questions. We're going to get after it right now. Hey, if this is your first time to the channel, go ahead and subscribe below, tap the bell so you can be notified every time we talk about any of these properties or different events that are going on up here in the North Idaho area. Hi, I'm Reed Wilson with Living North Idaho Life, and me and my team, we're here in the North Idaho area. We help people like you every day that are looking to find out more information or moving to North Idaho. So whether you're moving in 2 weeks or 2 years, give us a call, shoot us a text. We're happy to have that conversation. I'm over 20 years in the real estate business here in Idaho, and would love to help you out and answer some questions and see how we can help make your move to Idaho a smooth transition. Again, like we said, we are here in Plummer, Idaho. Plummer is located in the western portion of the Benewah County in Idaho's Panhandle. It's centrally located in the Coeur d'Alene Indian Reservation. Plummer is about 35 miles south of Coeur d'Alene, 50 miles north of Moscow, and about 18 miles west of St. Mary's. St. Mary's is the county seat here in the area, here in Benewah County. And it's only 9 miles east of the Washington state line. Plummer's elevation is 2722 feet above sea level. They get a lot of moderate weather here. The lowest average daily temperature is about 21 degrees Fahrenheit in January, and the highest average is typically around 86 in July, but I can tell you right now, we're at 95, so that is not correct. It is a warm summer day here in this beautiful area. Snowfall is about 8.2 inches. That's probably not too far off. As you come south of the Coeur d'Alene area, you don't get quite as much snow. Coeur d'Alene sits at 2,300 elevation, so they don't get over inundated with snow either there. A lot of people think because we're north, it's cold, snowy, and that's not always the case. Home prices range in this area anywhere from about $200,000 up over to over $4 million. So you got a little bit of everything. Some of the highlights of this area, you've got Hayburn State Park, you got Trail of the Coeur d'Alenes, like we're seeing right here. This Trail of the Coeur d'Alenes, this was built in conjunction with the Coeur d'Alene Indian tribe, state of Idaho, and the federal government came together and put this Trail of the Coeur d'Alenes together. This is a 73 miles paved. They're spanning from Plummer, where we're at here, all the way over to Mullan. That's going towards the Montana border. It follows along the Coeur d'Alene River, a large portion of this. We will take a look. There's a bridge that goes over the Coeur d'Alene Lake as you head over into that Harrison area. So, hey, this is a fun, family activity. Bring your kids, get on your bikes, ride over the bridge, go into Harrison. There is a parking lot that's closer. We'll get some shots over in that area. But, go over, get some ice cream, make a day of it. It's a lot of fun. It's beautiful, beautiful trail. So, a lot of fun. One thing to know, Plummer sits in the middle of the Coeur d'Alene Indian Reservation. So you might be thinking, gosh, can we own land on the Indian Reservation? Well, There are several types of land on the Indian reservation. You have trust land, and that's the government holds this land in trust for the tribes. You've got fee land that is no longer in a trust, and it's subject to any of the restrictions of the tribe, and it can be deeded to anyone. And then you have restricted land. This land is owned by an individual or tribe, but there are restrictions to its use. So if you're looking at buying property in this area, when it comes to buying land on the reservation, you want to make sure it is a fee land. You know, they'll call it fee simple. So you want to make sure you've got a realtor that knows what to look for, a title company that checks that for you to make sure that you know that the land you're getting, you're going to have ownership of and be able to make the decisions you want to make with the use of it. So if it's not a fee simple land, it's going to be very hard to get financed. And so that would be your first clue. But if you're paying cash, you don't want to buy something and find out you don't have all the rights to it. So make sure. But beautiful area, medical services. The Indian tribe has some medical services right here in this area. It's right behind me, behind the statue here and this display. But if you're not part of the tribe, you know, you do have easy access over into the Spokane area. So, and we'll jump on the map and take a look at that and how that plays out. Also, like we said, we're 35 miles south of Coeur d'Alene, so right up 95. Kootenai Health sits right on 95 and I-90 there. We'll kind of look at that. So you do have easy access to health services if that's a concern. But anyway, we're going to take a look. We're going to take a look at a few different price points. We're going to do a little drive through. We're going to do some drone shots. We're going to kind of give you an idea what this looks like here and just see if that's something that might interest you. And as always, if you have any questions, you know, leave us a comment below. Feel free to reach out, and we'd love to help you out in any way we can. And like we said, make your move to Idaho a smooth transition. Okay, we are in Plummer today, as the video shows, and just going to kind of give you an idea where Plummer's at. And as always, here's Spokane over here, got Coeur d'Alene here, and Highway 95. Well, you got Interstate 90 comes across, and then you can jump on 95 here, which head, and as you come south down here into Plummer. So Plummer today this is the area that we're talking about, and as we mentioned in the video, it's only 35 miles south, so kind of it's not a bad drive. Highway 95 is kept very, you know, they keep it clean during the winter. It's updated. It's, you know, it's 2-lane most of the way. You do have stretches as you come through these towns where it's one way, one lane, and then again as you start coming right into the Coeur d'Alene area there. But other than that, you got good access in and out. A lot of people like it down here in this area just because it's so quiet. It does sit here, as you can see, it sits here on the Coeur d'Alene Indian Reservation. So as we talked about in the video, you know, if you're looking at buying land here in that area, you want to make sure it's a fee simple, and so that make sure you have full control of your property. But we did start the video here at the start of the Trail of the Coeur d'Alenes, which does sit right there. It just that disappeared on us and then that runs on through and comes out here through Hayburn State, and then follows up, and then shoots across and on up. So I did get some video out here, so stay tuned. As you watch through the video, we'll show up some. I did a little drive through here, state of the Hayburn State Park. Then we came down, and then I got some drone shots out here of the bridge. There is a bridge that a walking path, bike path that does cut the lake there, which is just fantastic. I mean, it's just amazing that we have that. And the trail of the Coeur d'Alene, comes up right here in this area here, and then follows up, and then it follows the Coeur d'Alene River, and then that goes all the way. As we said, it's a 73-mile all the way to Mullan. So from Plummer on across, and then follows, and then comes all the way down to Mullan. So if you like to get out and do some biking, hiking, 73 miles would be a long hike, but maybe you take sections, and there's just some really beautiful areas along there. So keep that in mind. It's a beautiful trail, and it's just a great amenity for us to have here in the area. So we did a little flyover of the Plummer area, and as you can see, it's not a very big town. So the in-town living is really country living. You've got a lot of the properties are little larger lots. You do get a lot of this, as you can see from our drone. There's a lot of flat area out there. A lot of grain is grown. There's a lot of agriculture down here in this area because it is more flat. When you get off up into these mountains here, these sections here, you get up into some nice acreage. There's a lot of pine trees, and there's just some beautiful area in there. There are just some beautiful homes, and in along some of these areas. Whoops, that's in the Hayburn Park, so you're probably not going to see much in the way of home there. But there are some homes out here on this point as you come on up through. And there's a lot of cabins. There are cabins that you can buy and possess in the Hayburn State Park area there. That Hayburn State Park has walking everywhere. If you like to get out and walk around, we'll throw up just some scenery of that. It's beautiful. But anyway, some very affordable properties out through here in this Plummer area, and it does sit here in that Benewah County. And so I don't know if you can see this. Benewah County, comes on, and it's rough, but that's all Benewah County. St. Mary's over here is the county seat. So if you're looking at you gotta do things, any legal things, you gotta go there for the court system. If you're getting building permits, driver's license, any of that type of stuff, it's all done right here in that area right there. And now Plummer, for families, I mean, like I said, it is very affordable. I think one of the downsides of Plummer is, one, it's a very small town, so there's not a lot of services there. You don't have the Walmarts and the some of the bigger store chains for better pricing. Of course, you're only 35 minutes out of Coeur d'Alene, so it's not a bad drive, especially if you're going that way for work anyways. School systems are not very good in that area. Niche.com ranks the Worley, which is right here, Worley Plummer School District, as a C-, and the academics was a D. So they're not ranking real well. But a lot of the people that are moving out in these areas here are, we get a lot of people that are retiring that want to come out, live on the lake, or maybe they have the means to, send their kids up, back up into the Coeur d'Alene area to some of these private schools and the STEM schools and some of that type of stuff. So As far as medical services, if you're out in this area, from Plummer, like I said, back up 95, right here on 95 and I-90, you have Kootenai Medical Center. There is a medical center here in Plummer that offers Indian services, so I know that doesn't help a lot of people. But also, quick, easy, right here, and then in on 27 there, into Spokane Valley, which does offer a lot of medical services here in the Spokane Valley and in along just Spokane here along that South Hill area. So a lot of services there if that's what's needed. Anyway, beautiful area. They got some beautiful marinas down in this area, so there's lots of ways to launch your fishing. You've also got the St. Joe River here. You've got the lake. So there is a lot of options for fishing. It's something you're looking for. There is a lot of that out through here. And like I said, there are, marinas. There's a lot of easy places to put in. And so, Silvertip Landing, I know there's another marina sits over here in this area. And then you got one here at Chocolate, and then Conklin Park. So, there's lots of ways to get your boat in the water. And or maybe you're looking for something that's in along the lake or with some lake views and something like that. You can get way up over the millions, on some of those properties there. But for the most part, the properties down in this area is far less expensive than what you're going to see up in the Coeur d'Alene area. So that is a draw for down in that area. Yeah, if you have something in mind, leave us a comment. Let us know if there's something there that you are looking for, or if you got some questions about this area. Maybe you got some input of just some stuff that I missed. I love that. I do get a lot of locals, because sometimes, as I get free rolling here, I don't always remember some of the things that maybe should go in, and we might skip that. But feel free to leave a comment if there's something that might help someone else with that's looking at these areas. And then by all means, call us, text us, email us, let us know if we can be of any help and answer any questions. Enjoy the video.